case. We've got a nice wireless keyboard.
Yeah.
We've got a pretty sweet motherboard. Nice solid state hard drive. Pretty cheap CD. I mean, the only thing we're going to use it for really is installing the operating system. 16 gigs of smoking hot RAM, Xbox controller, Windows. Unfortunately, we got a pretty hefty power supply. An Intel i7 quad-core processor, a pretty kick-ass video card. All of this put together should make a system that makes things like Fallout and Skyrim look like reality.
Let's put it together.
Yeah. So we're building this giant NTX computer case of computeriness.
This thing looks gigantic.
This is larger than I thought it was. It's bigger on the inside.
Wow, that is truly massive.
Oh, I don't know what these things are up here.
They look like finger holes.
It's got thumb screws, which is nice because you don't need a screwdriver. Because the motherboard is going to bolt down. So see.
Ooh. Oh, that part comes up. Ooh, look at the fan.
Huh. Volatile corrosion inhibitor. So those are power lines for the case. This is a fan. Okay, good. It comes with screws. So these are brackets that allow you to slide drives in and out more easily. So the empty space is going to promote cooling as long as you have the appropriate amount of airflow. And so this system will probably run a little hot because we have a nice video card in it. So first thing I'm going to do is put in our 630 watt power supply. Oh. Yeah.
So those are the cables you need?
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've done this.
And I've never done it at all.
So let's figure out how this thing... Okay. So... I'm going to figure out how this sucker is supposed to...
So this goes in this area because it's vented?
Okay, so I'm bending this a little bit because it's just a little too tight for our power supply. So I'm putting this side down so that we can actually get air in to cool it. Perfect fit. The screw mounts are not fitting perfectly, but you know what does.
That's pretty close though.
That's pretty close.
Dorian wants to help.
Dorian always wants to help. And perfect. Ha 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 ha.
You just screw it right in.
Yep.
Well, that's not too hard.
And in other news, Dorian is making his way up my leg.
Me and Henry are chewing on the gardening gloves now. Henry, don't eat that. Hi, you're so cute. Don't eat the glove. Hi, Henry. Hi, Henry. Good boy. Okay.
I don't know what this giant red button does, but it looks
Quite
scary.
tempting.
So these are the main power for the motherboard. So here's our motherboard. It's by Asus. Your motherboard is going to determine a lot.
You should be wearing a grounding strip, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to electrocute yourself?
No, it's not about electrocuting yourself. It's about not damaging the components.
So that just fits right in there?
Yeah, so you'll see there are these little brass mounts. This is an ATX motherboard. And so those raise it up, and you can see they align rather well. A little strange that they don't have them on this end, so they might have some more of them in here. Ooh, tiny fans. Tiny kittens. How far up do we think he's going to make it?
I don't know, he's pretty chunky. Do you want to get him off? Dorian.
Start with the corners. So I never like to screw things down too tight at first because you run the risk of kind of locking yourself in. So buy a magnetic screwdriver when you're doing this and it will make your life a lot easier.
So that won't screw up the electronics if it's magnetic?
Well, so it can screw up some types of hard drive.
Okay, so we found the cover that actually needs to go on this before you stick it in. So we're going to yank it out, put it on, and stick it back in.
So it just clips in. You just have to
be firm.
Firm, but not gentle.
Yep. I gotta tighten all the screws again.
This is the main power source coming from the power supply to the motherboard.
Okay.
So it's going to clip in there. So these are case lights. So you can see we have power switch, reset switch, power LED minus, power LED plus, and HDD LED. And so those guys are going to plug into various places around the motherboard, which are defined in our handy motherboard manual. This is our beautiful Core 7 processor. We're opening this. This is the cooling system for the processor. You can see it's quite hefty.
Oh, wow.
And
is that little guy the processor?
tiny little thing.
That's awesome.
Is the processor. All of the power in your computer comes from something this big or smaller.
2 up.
Yeah.
And lift this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he just goes, plugs right in there. Okay, don't touch. No no fingers. They make that very clear. No pressure. Comes off.
You are now witnessing the destruction of our new CPU.
Okay.
Look at all those little pins.
Isn't that cool?
Okay, let's put it in before we...
So it goes in...
So there's a notch on one of the sides.
So like this, right?
Yeah. Okay, now what do we do?
I think we probably just flip it down and then this goes back down like the way it came up. That's pretty tight, right?
Yeah. Is that in?
Well, let's look at the diagram. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. That's actually the easiest processor install that I've ever experienced.
Look at that fancy cooling
That's
system.
what sits right on top, and they're these little plastic type of...
Oh, so they're not screws, they're like push
Yeah.
connectors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're supposed to screw those in. I have giant man fingers. Last time I built one of these, you were like squirting thermal paste, and the cooling system came out to here, and like the way it bolted down, you ended up puncturing your fingers 15 times and uphill in the snow. You know what I mean?
This is the video card.
It's got like 15 or 1600 pseudo cores, and you can see this thing is literally huge. Like,
How big are they normally?
Smaller than this. I have never had a video card this large. It'll fit. The video card's gotta have an out, right? Oh, this is an interesting system.
Screws and little doorways.
Anthem of man. Thumbs. I need help.
Okay, so we gotta take some little doorways out. That's so cool.
So I believe this is the port that we want to clip into, but you can see there are actually 2. Oh, this has 3 PCI Express cards.
The tan, the brown, and the black.
Yeah, so we can eventually link 3 of these together.
Three that are this size.
Yeah. That'll be a great way to warm our home.
I think it looks like a motorcycle part.
I feel bad touching it.
We're not going to touch it for long.
Okay.
Okay, so do you know which one you're going to put it into? The tan one?
Yeah.
At the top?
This is like the manliest thing a computer dude can do. So this is just a little too high. So we needed to take off another one of these because we had it shifted down. But when you push it in, so you can see it'll just fit in snugly, and this will clip shut. So now the video card is firmly seated.
Oh, that looks awesome. I like the little dragon logo. So you're going to put the first doorway back in?
Yeah, it's just easier to go ahead and take care of it now. So like the motherboard pretty much does everything now. So it used to be the case that you would have like a sound card coming out the back and, you know, an extra card for USB.
What are all these guys for?
So that's RAM. Oh, there it goes. So eventually, if we really wanted to soup this up, it would probably melt. But we could put 3 of these and link them together like it's from a motorcycle.
Crazy.
Okay, so this is our RAM. So we're putting in 16 gigs right now. Eventually we might scale it up to 32. Depends on if I actually start doing useful things with it or not. As you can see, 2 of these are brown and 2 of these are tan. So you put in either or. So you either put both in the brown or both in the tan. And some motherboards, they have like a specification. And if I were a better person and read instructions, I would check.
What's the plural for RAM? Is it RAMs?
It's just RAM. You can see there's an orientation of this. One is longer. One of these 2 sides is longer.
Oh, I see.
So this one, the one that's closer to me, is longer.
Yeah, the teeth have a break in them.
Yeah. And this thing better. So we can go ahead and clip in the power to the motherboard.
Don't forget the video power.
I don't know when you want me to remind you about that.
That was good.
Yeah.
This is a well-designed case. Like with a poorly designed case, I would have already shredded my fingers.
Okay, so this is the CD drive.
Although, maybe the brackets weren't needed.
Right, maybe the
Oh,
brackets
wow.
are if you do something else.
I'll pop this back on for now. So we are putting in an adapter to go from our hard drive to this giant, beautiful PCI Express.
The power, right?
Yeah, the power. So the only things that we are short on are connectors for... So we do have a connector that came with the motherboard that will power, but what we don't have is a connector to connect this to the motherboard. So these are the SATA connections down here.
Okay, so it's the SATA cord that we need?
Yeah, so we need 2 of those. This is all pretty well assembled. We did make a couple of mistakes, which is we forgot to get serial ATA data cables, so we ran out to a local computer store to grab some. They're cheap, they're like $3 each. And then the other thing that we still don't have is an adapter mounting, because you can see this is a lot smaller than these bays. So we're just going to wing it and set this in on the chassis for a little while. Don't recommend doing that.
It'll work for now.
So we got CD-ROM, so we can install the operating system, pretty much useless otherwise. We got hard drive, little solid state, 250 gigs. We've got our super duper video card, we've got motherboard, we've got RAM in, we've got CPU in, we've got power supply. We are ready to turn this on.
Yeah!
Okay, so now we have the final touch. And so this is a mounting bracket for this little guy. Our solid state drive, which we have been mercilessly running. And you can see it doesn't fit into any of the hard drive bays.
Yeah, it's way too small.
Way too small.
Look at how tiny that thing is.
So this is a couple dollars, and you can see my satisfaction was someone's priority.
Cool.
See, it just fits right in like that. Don't do that at home. I'm illustrating what not to do.
And does it matter if it goes in the upper or the lower?
No. There is our beauteous computer.
So the hard drive is screwed into the mounting bracket, and now we are mounting the mounting bracket on the mounting bracket.
Yes.
These are technical terms.
Don't try this at home.
There's a hard drive in there.
I said don't try it at home.
We are home. I see the problem. Did this come with like instructions? So we're just gonna throw it in there, and now it's a little bit more protected. Okay.
Okay.
And we have this little guy now too. We picked him up at Micro Center.
Micro Center. Oh, so that's the Xbox.
Okay. And then this is...
It's a USB wireless adapter. It's actually kind of a cool thing. It's got a nice long cord. So if you want, you can reposition it to get a stronger, better signal.
And we got that because our motherboard does not have built-in Wi-Fi.
Which, in hindsight, I guess most motherboards don't. Thumb screws are awesome, but this case is beautiful.
Hey Molly, you helping us put the computer together? You keeping an eye on everything?
We just rearranged our back room, and we have the computer all set up under the desk, getting everything plugged in. And it turns out
our old monitor was too low resolution for the output of the video card.
So it only did 720p. So we had to run out and get this bad boy, which is it's a little bit bigger, but
it's got better resolution.
It's got better resolution.
And
it's much newer. It was it was a lot cheaper than we expected. It's a good size. For the space, it's almost a little bit too big, but Skyrim and Fallout 4 are going to look gorgeous on this guy. We have a wireless mouse and keyboard, which are actually working magnificently so far.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Look at that. I'm excited!
It took 5 trips to Micro Center.
Four trips. It took 4 trips to Micro Center.
Micro Center.
4 trips to Micro Center. There we go. We're downloading the games. Pretty exciting. It's working.
4 trips to Micro Center and a lot of absent-mindedness on my part.
We're gonna be doing a lot of games tonight.
Yes.
Look at this game. XCOM, Terror from the Deep. First one we're starting with. I am so excited. Look at how beautiful and silly that looks on the brand new screen. I don't know what to say now.
I don't really enjoy the fact that it's huge. I should be wearing a grounding strip for all of this.
Oh, Dorian. Dorian. Bouncy kitten. Oh, you're a good boy. Little purr machine. Okay. Reading instructions. Yeah.
You can probably... Let me see the instruction book. I have giant man fingers. It almost sounds like an anthem. Man-thum.
The man-thum anthem.
The man-thum anthem.
We should make a song about the man-thum anthem.
Anthem of man thumbs. I need help. It's very messy.
Cross that fiery bridge when we come to it.
How do I stop this thing?